Hi, sorry to all my international viewers, but this little video rant is directed at my Australian viewers only, and it involves politics. Yes. Now, as you may know, this Saturday, September 7th, is the federal election. Now, normally I wouldn't do a video on something like this, but unfortunately, no less than the future of this country, and more selfishly, perhaps the potential growth of this video blog is at stake this weekend. And unfortunately, it's looking like the Liberals and Tony Abbot might actually win this election. And if that happens, this country is rooted in so many ways, from the map of Tassie right up to Humpty Doo, that don't even want to think about it. But I'll only talk about one thing: the internet. As you know, the current Labor government are rolling out the National Broadband Network, or NBN, which aims to deliver fibre directly to every house and every business in the country, including my house and the lab here. Fantastic. And yes, they're probably going to screw it up in lots of ways, and yes, it's probably going to cost a buttload of money more than they claim, but at least it is the proper and really only engineering, long-term engineering solution. As you know, copper is just not a solution anymore. Fibre is the way to go. It was the way to go 15, 20 years ago when they should have done it. But at least they're doing it once right now, and they're getting the job done. Now, for content creators like me, that opens up a whole new world of possibilities in what type of content I can deliver, how I deliver it, and stuff I haven't even thought of yet as a content creator. But it's not just for me, it's for you, your family, your business, and the way you're going to live and work in the future. It's vitally important that we all get fibre directly to the home or business. But Tony Abbott's batshit crazy plan for our broadband future involves fibre just to the street node out there, not actually directly to the home or to the business, and to utilise as much of our existing rotting, aging copper infrastructure as possible. And if that copper infrastructure has to be upgraded, as it does for my home, well, what happens? They're going to replace it with more copper. And their masterful plan in 5 years' time will provide a stunning, wait for it, 25 megabits per second download speed. Woohoo! And an unspecified upload speed. Because, you know, nobody actually uploads content to the internet, right? This is so retarded and so far behind the current infrastructure in the rest of the world. Even at home, using cable, I'm getting 100 megabits per second download. And at the lab here, I already get 20 megabits per second download. So they want to go and spend $30 billion or more to give everyone 25 megabits per second download using existing copper infrastructure? Gotta be shitting me. This plan is so retarded, it's not funny. What this country needs for the future of our communications infrastructure is fibre to every point possible. That is the only sensible solution. And then the bandwidth limits are not dictated by rotting copper. You've got virtually unlimited bandwidth fibre to every node. But that's obvious, right? Everyone knows this. Everyone except the Abbott government. And Abbott's fibre to the node solution means big ugly boxes on the street corner the size of a bloody TARDIS. So this election is all about the future of this country's internet and communications infrastructure, and the way we will all live and work in 5, 10, 20, 30 years, 50 years time. And if Abbott gets in, we're going to enter the digital dark ages. Now, I can understand how people are fed up with the current Labor government. I mean, who the hell isn't, right? It's just, everything they've done wrong. But it's important for people to understand what the alternative is and how bad that alternative is. It has actually come down to a choice between the lesser of two evils. And at least one side has got a few very important things right. The other's got nothing right. Now, I know this might seem pretty darn obvious to my educated and informed technical audience, But unfortunately, the majority of Australians are just sheeple. Bah! And they'll vote like sheep, and they'll vote for Tony Abbott. But even if the sheeple do decide this election and Tony Abbott wins, there is always the Senate who will be able to block any of the ridiculous policies Tony Abbott tries to put through. You know, the Senate, it's that huge bit of, you know, that big voting paper you get, like a metre long. You open up and you go, what the frig is this? Now, the way the Senate voting system works is actually quite good. Due to the voting spread system they've got in there, it pretty much ensures that one seat in every state in the Senate is going to go to one of the minor parties or one of the independents. And that's a good thing. It stops the Liberal government or the party in power from getting the balance of power in the Senate so that they can just rubber stamp everything, all their stupid batshit crazy ideas, and pass them straight through. If we have enough independents and minor parties in the Senate, we can at least have some sensibility and some checks and balances. So everyone's vote in the Senate is going to be vitally important in this election, I think, and for the future running of the country. Now, you have to be very careful who you vote for in the Senate. Make sure you check your preferences. Well, not your preferences, but the preferences of the party or person you're voting for in the Senate to ensure that that vote doesn't go to batshit crazy Abbott. Now, it would be remiss of me if I didn't mention an historic opportunity that we've currently got in the Senate. The Wikileaks party is actually running for Senate in various states in Australia, and you have the opportunity to vote them into the Senate. Now, whatever you might think of Julian Assange, personally, having a party like the Wikileaks party being voted into the Australian political system not only will put a spanner in the works of the Australian political system, but it'll also set a precedent worldwide as well, and people will stand up and take notice. And quite frankly, that's what politics in every country needs. Flaming hot fear of accountability burning their fat asses. Written, spoken, and authorised by that crazy Aussie bloke for the I Give a Shit About the Future of This Country party.